bit of lime juice, maybe some cilantro. You got yourself lime cilantro aioli. All right. Sriracha we might have in there as well. Okay. So you got your garlic aioli. As well, we take what's left. All right. I believe if you add a little bit of ketchup. Tomato sauce.
Mayo and ketchup is crumbly. That's what you use.
We had some relish, so you got Thousand Island.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I mixed that.
But actually, technically, it's Russian dressing. It started in Russia.
It started in Russia. Yeah.
It's just something, out in New Orleans, they took it and changed the name of it. But the original name is Russian dressing.
All right.
Now, is that the sweet pickle or the sour?
These, to me, they're kind of sweet, if you ask me.
I know there was some stuff in Foundation 3 that I thought it was a sweet pickle, and I tried one just before I put it in the food, and it was.
Now, there's a difference between a gherkin and a cornichon. All right. So, it is the actual acid. One is sweeter and one is more tart.
It was very tart.
Very
I
tart.
was like, I don't think I want to use this.
All right. So, you add a little bit of ketchup. You add some gherkins in there or some cornichons, and you. Okay, what is it?
Yeah, seasoning for the day, right? There you go.
We all know that you are from New Orleans.
I know, but like, when you add some things, right? It'd be like 10 times.
But that's what I like about Miss Lucia, because I know everything comes down to seasoning. Everything. No matter what you are making, you're going to put some seasoning in there. Okay? I subscribe to that. All right. All right. Thousand Island dressing. Do me a favor, grab a name and cut back. All right. So, here is the start of everything for you on Monday, okay? When you all come in. Now, like I said, I got 4 sliders there, but for the most part, you all will have 3 sliders that you're going to turn out, okay? You got, well, this is aioli, and you got your crawfish. All right.
Then it's not that anymore.
All right.
Hey, you know, it is the 4th most popular salad dressing in the U.S.
In the U.S. it is. Number 1 is what?
Ranch. You never heard of Thousand Island dressing? The dip in chicken fingers.
All right. All right. So that takes care of your sauces that you're going to divvy out. You will also, if you want to add Dijon to your mayo, you can. All right. Add pickle to the Thousand Island. Yes. All right. All right. So. Hadley's got 4 sliders, all right? So here's what I'm, yeah, all right, so everybody sees the basis of what you're going to start with. Now, I will, you know, of course, I know we can't have sliders without what on them? Cheese. Yeah. I'll bring in some cheese for your sliders, okay? But, this is, what is it? Don't push it. All right.
Provolone?
Sure. Now, the other thing to keep in mind with this, ladies and gentlemen, all right, like I said, the biggest thing, once this is all said and done, is I don't care how you prepare them in terms of temperature. If you're a rare kind of person, then cook your burgers rare. But you still need to turn out attractive product. So I'm trying to make sure everybody sees every step of the way, once again, how to keep yourself organized, how to keep yourself on point, okay? Pull that bowl out. Let's see how the bread looks. All right?
Really?
You would probably end up pan searing.
Go to the bread company.
Okay.
No, it's a video.
All right.
How the video. Red.
All right, so, your burger bun, it is a straight dough mix. Let me see that. All right. On your recipe with the hamburger patty, you'll see it has granulated garlic, onion powder, parsley, salt, and pepper. All right. You also saw that it took me 5 minutes to cut up a small piece of onion. She added some salt and pepper and whatever else she wanted to put in it. All right? This is not the Build a Better Burger contest. Ha ha hell. All right? Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
We're not competing with Bobby Flay and the
You were, I told you not to make a Hungry Man pizza, and yet people still did. Okay? You were making sliders. You're gonna put a couple of ingredients in a bowl, mix it up, slap them together. That's it. Okay? This is it. That's all you get. If there's anything left over, can you have more? No. Make what you're supposed to make. Once again, it's about getting an A. Okay?
So we're making
3 burgers, 3 sliders. Your lunch. Every time we come in here, you're making your lunch. Okay? And the whole notion behind it, in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, the product that you did yesterday was good product. Okay? I'm not going to stand here and pay 23 people per show. That's not going to happen. Okay? The whole notion is, I'm watching what you do. If you consume your product, hey, fine. That's after that. If you got other people coming in asking, I think, Chef Cullen ate, everything, all of your pizza or whatever. Right. Then that's half the battle. Then you did a good job. All right? A lot of this is about execution, and a lot of you all know that. When you get outside these 4 walls, until it has, until it says your name on Strangman's patisserie, you got to follow other people's instructions, and that's all there is to it. So that's the whole purpose of it. If I do it this way and it works, then guess what? Monday you do it this way, you got an A. Okay?
Chef, I would suggest you stop telling them they make their own lunch. People like, oh, okay, I'm gonna eat like this.
Well, here's the thing. My 2 cents behind it is, at any given point, I can try whatever's in this room. And if I ain't crazy about it, then guess what?
You get to see it coming in.
Right. See how easy this is? See? That's the whole notion. You got to learn that you're not just cooking for you, especially if you want other people to pay you. People aren't going to pay you their hard-earned money, and you're making crap. Okay.
But I would suggest y'all when y'all make it, think about it.
Cook lady chair.
That's our thing. When I'm fortunate, I'm thinking, okay, if I put too much on this plate, I'm going to most people think the money, and that's how I think. That's exactly how I think. If I wouldn't put this much on the plate, somebody would buy it, I'm wasting money.
Unless you were going to German restaurant,
All right.
to load the entire plate.
Here's your recipe for the burger bun. It's very straightforward. It is a straight dough mix. Ms. Gates, I don't think you'll have an issue with the milk powder. Okay. As far as I know, it is non-dairy dry milk powder. Okay. That is generally what we use in the kitchen. Okay. All right. So here's how I want to attack this. We'll put this in the cooler, Kathy, and then I'm gonna show you about the Duchess prep, and then we'll do the burgers in a minute. 2, sauces, mayonnaise, We also dropped that back in the cooler on the shelf. All right, so I think we proofed enough. We fermented. Fermented, sorry. Not proofed, fermented. All right, so let's pull out our Dutchess. All right.
Looks pretty heavy.
I have a memory card on the phone right now, so I don't want to see it. I already got a half hour worth.
But as always, I like to provide you with choice. What's wrong? Oh, yeah. That shows that it's still good. It's still working. Hey, look, real talk. The one I got at the club, covered in flies. I'm a lowballer and say the one I have at the club is about 40 years old. Wow. Capital City Country Club.
So in other words, that has character.
That has character and has life. You know?
Need a little bit of extra yeast, scrape some of the old
Scrape
dough.
some of the dough off. There you go. All right. So, your pants? How about that? Give me some. Yeah. All right. She's hard. All right. Got time.
My wife's
All right.
the same way, there's no cleaning up nothing.
All right. So, nice soft dough. Okay. This is softer than your baguette dough. Okay. So you're gonna be a little careful with it. Not gonna overwork it at all. All right. Set that down. All right. Ma'am? Okay. All right. Now, the whole notion is, if I remember right, this will divide your dough into 1 ounce, 1.5 to 2 ounce pieces. Okay. The biggest thing that you're going to have to keep in mind: put your dough on the table. All right. At the same token, you're going to have to place it in the pan, and you need to make sure that it is relatively level. Okay. You do not want to be large on one side and skinny on the other side. A little flour into the pan. All right. So we don't stick. All right. Press it down nice and evenly. Classically, it's called a Dutchess press.
Dough divider.
Now we call it a dough divider. All right. So everybody can see, nice and even, all the way around. All right. And I'll try and show you another trick of the trade. Once again, you see that what? Not a lot of flour. Okay. Now I am going to take a little bit of flour and sprinkle over the top. All right. Slide it underneath. And initially, all I'm going to do is just press it. All right. I'm just going to pull it down. That way, in all honesty, it's nice and flat now.
No.
Yeah.
Just
It
made a
marks it.
pattern on it
All right.
so far.
So, put a little bit more. Now, my reason for putting a little more flour on top is because now the blades are going to go into it. All right. Press one time.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Now we're good.
Okay. You know what's funny? I think I'm not mad at you. I think it's funny because I did think like that when I was in France, but I didn't say it. Because I knew they'd be like, American.
Yeah.
All right.
And say put some
I don't need to spray, I just need a piece of parchment.
cinnamon,
All right.
caramelized sugar on it, make some monkey bread.
So, and I'm gonna show you a couple of things, okay? So now, the whole idea, let's slide that back. All right, careful. All right, so you got it nice and marked. Everybody's good?
So, Michelle, when you press it down, you put that handle back behind that.
And then that's when the blade will come down. Okay. And I'll be right there to make sure everybody's okay with it. Let me see. Like so. All right. So now I'm going to show you a couple of things. I don't know if this is in the book or not, but a little bit extra knowledge never hurt anybody. So if you take this, all right, here's today's trade secret. There's a place in, I believe, Boston, Massachusetts called the Parker House Hotel. And they are very well known for making what's called the Parker House roll, okay? The recipe, if I remember right, I haven't looked it up in a while, it's in one of my books, has a little bit of potato flour, okay? Gives it a nice softness. But the biggest thing about the Parker House roll is once you cut the roll, the bread, the dough like this, you pull it and you fold it over, all right? And one lift is bigger than the other. And those are Parker House rolls. That's the famous Parker House roll, okay? Just that simple, all right? So, the other thing, now, here comes the fun part, which nobody's gonna like, but you gotta do it. So, you see that these are an odd shape, right? And you need to turn them into rounds. So you're gonna have to round them. So this is the way I had to do it when I was in school. You're gonna have to tuck in the edges. Okay? Just like that. Everybody with me?
Yeah, put it all the way around that.
All the way around. Turn it over, and you're going to have to round it. Now, this has too much flour on it. So I put a little water on the table. I cover it up, fingers together. Now, the best way, Mr. Broader, golf ball?
Pretty much.
Golf ball. Did everybody hear that? Not softball.
I was gonna say
baseball, basketball, pool ball, racquetball.
Now,
Not for me.
when they do it that way, does that make a huge difference than just forming a ball and rolling it?
That's not what we do. Wait
All right.
Why do they do it that way as opposed to making it into a ball and then rolling it to make the same shape? Is there like a difference in
What do you mean?
the way it comes
So
together?
you had to shake it
They're all-
first like this.
This is the best way for you to know that all your dough is even. Right here.
No, I meant the way that it's being rolled, the way they tell you how to roll it, as opposed to making it into, folding the edges in,
Oh,
as
you-
opposed to rolling it into a ball and then doing the same thing on the
Oh, you
table.
talking about doing this?
Yeah, like, what's why they do it that way? Is it like come together differently? Or?
Well, the idea is that you got to make sure that you got a nice round bun, same size, okay? You could stand there if you wanted to and do this, which I have seen. All right? I'm doing the same thing on the table.
So you just gotta make sure that the seam side is going.
Right, seam is always down, and you can round them like that, okay?
Would it come out more?
Well, you put more pressure on it, it'll, all right? Now, as always, like I said, I'm always about uplifting. I can tell you that the way that I was taught to do it, once the dough was made, we didn't use the Dutchess. All right, what we would do is we'd roll it into a log, into a tube, and then I would portion it. Okay? I would portion it, and if you've been doing this for a minute, and I've learned from some of the best, they pinch off, they know exactly how much it feels in their hand, cut it, and you had 1 ounce roll. 2 ounce, pick a number, whatever, okay? But it just comes with time, all right? So, you know, as you pull them apart or whatever, my 2 cents is everybody, you round one, you practice it. The other thing also that you got to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about a 1 ounce piece of dough. Not to be funny, but we all know that the more you handle this dough, the tougher your buns are going to tough. You're going to have, you know, your dough, your bread is going to be firmer, okay? So you want to make sure that you do minimal amounts of handling, all right, of your bun, all right? If your dough slides across the table, put a little bit of water on your hand, wipe away your table, okay? But here is, once again, as I always say to you, this is what will get you an A. You're making sliders. You're not making Big Macs, okay? And at the same token, you will roll all of your buns, okay? Now, this is definitely one of the aspects that I'm going to look at. Here's the other thing to keep in mind. If you don't have smooth dough on your sheet pan, please know that it's not going to turn out smooth once you bake it. You saw that with your baguette. The whole idea is that you have to have a nice finished product, okay, in order for it to look attractive. Once you put it in the proof box and it starts to proof, it's not going to work. All right. So my two cents. Take one, round it. All right.
You gonna catch it?
I do.
Sure.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I
You just want to, and that's, you know, I've learned over time to try and get everybody to make sure you relate. You're making a golf ball, a nice, round, you know, smooth piece of dough. All right? Once we get these rounded, I'll drop them in the box.
About the hamburger? Oh, I know, it's gonna add to get control.
All right, you make sure your seam is down.
One-handed.
I was gonna say you've been doing it. Two hands. Now make sure. Now I will say that you get into a commercial bakery and you're they do have dough rounders, but if you do have to do it by hand, you've got to learn how to do it with both hands. It's about maximizing your time. Always. Everything is about maximizing your time. Alright? So, you will round out all of your dough.
Spoken with.
Okay?
Embarrassed.
Yeah. Make sure you seam it down.
Jeff, are we each making this many?
Yeah. We're only going to present the 3. We're going to put the rest in the freezer. We'll use the rest. We've got some events coming up, so the rest of the dough will go in the freezer. All right?
Yes, too nice. What'd you think? You gonna get to take them home for dinner rolls? That's like, yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, so everybody has seen. It'll bake up just like that with the fold. And
It's more like it's more of a square bun, kind of like Wendy's type style.
the Parker House roll? Yeah.
You mean crystals?
The whole notion is that
Wendy's.
the Parker House
You mean
Hotel is
crystals?
famous for
Little tiny paper thin burgers.
Yeah, the Crystal Burger.
Crystal.
Wendy's is a round burger.
Wendy's is a square burger.
No, that's Crystal.
All right, so the last aspect of your
I had one 2 nights ago.
of your slider buns,
You're
all right,
thinking
we will get them in the box and we will
Work
get
at
them
Wendy's.
proofing, okay? Once they come out, we can brush and sprinkle with sesame seeds on top, okay? And I'll show you, once we get them out, we egg wash them, we sprinkle them with sesame seeds.
In the bun?
You do not have to use the sesame seeds if you do not want to, all right? I know that there's someone has, I believe it's celiacs who can't digest the seeds, all right? I do not make you put sesame seeds on top, okay? But it is, it's an attractive, it makes your product attractive, okay? So I'll show you how to do it once they come out the box. Does everybody feel square up to this point about what you are doing on Monday? Yes? So there should be no issue about nobody should be asking me what did we and how did we. No. Once again, I'm showing you how to get yourself an A, okay? If you can replicate it this exact same way, you can get yourself an A. You'll make enough mayo, all right, from that recipe that you can turn it into aioli, you can turn it into Thousand Island. There's also a recipe for the remoulade if you want to, all right? You don't have to do that, but you're making something to go on the burger. No, we're not making honey mustard.
Hey, Chef, you want to turn those into like onion rolls?
Into
Onion
Onion
rolls.
rolls?
Onion on top.
You just put granulated up on top or shredded up on top?
if you're going to turn them into onion rolls, generally you're going to slice your onions paper thin, drop them in some ice water. Once you get your buns rolled out and shaped, pat them dry, and then you'll drop the onions on top while they go in the box.
Like, what if you want to turn it into sweet Hawaiian rolls?
That's a whole different recipe.
You have to use a different recipe.
It's a very different recipe.
Could we get that recipe? Do y'all have it?
Yeah, I have it.
I love those. I like to make Hawaiian burgers. Like change some of the ingredients, but still use the ground beef. Like my version is like I use pineapple juice. I mix it in with the ground beef itself. Yeah, and instead of using tomato on the top or onion or any of that, I'll just use lettuce and pineapple, and I'll make mayonnaise with a cherry flavored mayonnaise with some cherry juice and mayonnaise. So put on the bun. Next time I'm making extra, so it'll be cold by the time we get there.
All your recipes, ladies and gentlemen, are as is. I will say this, my 2 cents to you is with the mayonnaise, let's cut the mayonnaise down in half, okay? Let's do 8 ounces of oil and 1 egg yolk, okay?
Now,
Which is generally the recipe.
we're making both or just one? The garlic aioli?
You're gonna make both. You're gonna make 2. How about that? You're making 2 with the amount of oil that's going into that egg yolk. I mean, if you think about it, look at what I have left.
Yeah.
All right. And I made 2, so you can make 2 as well. You only got 3 burgers. That's it.
Can you make 3?
You can make 3. I will say you need to make sure that you saw that once you start to whisk and emulsify the oil, you need to consistently whisk it. Nobody's using a RoboFood, nobody's bringing in a Vitamix, and I'm not bringing in yeah. All right.
Boil it.
Take 3 minutes to make a mayonnaise. Come on.
All right. Less than that if you do it right.
It has to be either.
No. The whole notion is I'm gonna see you make the